Okay, so and that's the question. Like, all right, we have this cool little mouse over feature, but how are we gonna use the arrow keys to change menu items? Like, how is that gonna even work? And to answer that, we're going to use a set of variables, and we're going to change those variables and then change the state based on that value. So up here in this menu entity where we define the properties of it, we're going to create a new property. And that property is going to be called menu state, right? Menu state. And it's going to be set by default to 0. Okay. In the update, we're going to just kind of ignore all this stuff that we did with the mouse for now, and we're going to write code to handle keyboard input at this time. So we want to increment menu state, and we want to change what animation that they see based on what menu state is going on. So in order to do that, we're just going to start with a simple change the menu state with keyboard pushes. All right. So we have up arrow, right? No, I didn't bind W. Oh, not cool. Z's jump. A is left. D is right. Let's go ahead and we're going to bind darn it. Okay. ig.input bind ig.key.w comma it's up, right, and ig.input bind key.up underscore arrow. So right now I'm binding multiple keys to the same actions. I realized I didn't have an up or a down. So I'm going to bind W and up arrow to up and S and down arrow to down. Eventually I want to build in gamepad support for this. So let me just clear out the screen region here too. Hold on. Oops, just kidding. Okay. I'm going to close this notepad file. It's bothering me. Rawr. Eventually I want to build in gamepad support. So I need to make sure that I have bindings in place for the up, down, left, right D-pad on any keyboard, or on any gamepad, I mean. So I'm making sure I do that, but I also don't want to neglect either right-handed or left-handed gamers, which is why I'm binding the WASD set and the arrow set. I realized from in the past when I had multiple games going out for Ludum Dare and stuff, a lot of the feedback I got on Twitter and stuff was like, I really like W keys, or other people were like, I really like the arrow keys. And I kind of like had like mixed support for both. And so just knowing and having that knowledge ahead of time and delivering it to you, WASD is something a lot of people that play like MMOs and first-person shooters and stuff really prefer. And the arrow keys also. Like I don't even want to shouldn't even group them in either or. You're going to run into people that like both. So program for both ahead of time, and it'll save you at least one conversation and list of complaints from people in the future. Okay, ig.input.bind key.s, right? That's going to be down. ig.input.bind key dot down underscore arrow, and that'll be down like that. Right. So let's save that, and we'll go back to our menu and finish what's going to write. If ig input request down. Now I'm going to say this dot menu state plus plus. This dot menu state is greater than 3. This dot menu state is equal to 0. And if menu state is equal to this menu state minus 1. I think I can do minus minus, but I still like doing that. I don't know. I'm weird. I have like quirky things that I do when I write code. And some people do minus minus, but I'll do it. Okay, so in theory what we're writing here is if they push a binding that's bounded down, then menu state, which is this property made here that's starting at 0, is going to get incremented up, right? And if this dot menu state is greater than 3 at any time, then we want it to be reset back to 0. And then if they push up, then we're going to subtract menu state by 1 or de-increment it. And then if it's ever less than 0, we're going to make it equal to 3 immediately. And what this should do is make this number, this value here, be able to cycle through. So I should be able to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, and then if I want to change directions, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, and I could go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards with that. And this value is going to control what menu item we have selected once we build in these bindings. So again, we're going to use the console. We're just going to log that value so we can watch it change as we change it. I have to use this. This keyword is referring to, and I talked about this with the glass earlier, it refers to this instance of the entity. So if I had more than one of these on the screen, it would refer to each one independently. And I'll get into that later as we start to make in enemies and cool stuff when we get out of this UI jungle. But this is an important, and it's a foundation that I want to give you. It also allows me to kind of go in and explore the framework and kind of piecemeal things together for people starting out that aren't really used to programming and stuff. But in future episodes, we're going to definitely delve into a lot of other cool stuff. So this dot menu state. Okay, and that's what we're going to log. Save that, and let's go to our game and see what happens here. Okay, click to start. Alright, so there is a 0, and I'm going to push down. Oh man, what'd I do? Ah, hold on, click here. Okay, down, down, up, up, up. Alright, so 2, if I go up 1, I'll go to 1, I'll go up 1, I'll go to 0, right? And then I go up 1 again, I go to 3. 2, 1, 0, 3, 1, 2, 0. Like that, right? And if I go down, same thing. So now I can go up and down with this value using the arrow keys or using W and S. Alright. So I can affect that. Alright. What this is going to do in game code world is here we're going to comment out our little control test, and we're going to go and say in the update we're going to have, let's say if we'll probably use case. We'll use a switch case. Okay, so we're gonna make a switch. Switch. This dot menu state case 1 0. Right. I just go like this. So a case statement lets me handle multiple values, different cases for a value. So it switches which case it handles based on the value of what's in the switch. It's kind of like what I did below here, only instead of using if, else, I can just use this simple block and make all those changes. So if the value is 1, grab this. Whoop, sorry. If the value is 1, it's going to be new game. If the value is 2, it's going to be options. If the value is 3, it's going to be credits. Great. Alright, so something wrong here. I probably find something bad. Let me think. And by think I mean open up a cloudy file. Nothing there. Let's see here. Make sure we're hitting these right. Welcome to debugging. Like I can see here, right here, that I'm moving it off of idle. See, this is set to case 1, back to case 0, case 1, case 0, case 1, case 0. So my animation sheet isn't changing, but I am inside of my case statement. Oh, I know what's going on here. This is overriding this. Okay. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. This needs to come down below. Alright. And then here, where we set the animation, instead of setting animations in these mouse sections, we're going to have to set the menu state instead. So where we used to say this dot current anim equal blah blah blah, no, this is going to go away inside the mouse blocks. Now inside the mouse blocks, we're going to say that this here is going to be state 1, right? So where it used to say new game, instead it's going to say this dot menu state is equal to 1, right? Okay. And we're just going to take away that animation thing. And then here, that's fine. Here again, we're going to go, oops, let's go. This menu state is equal to this is equal to 3. Okay. And we should be good now. Let's just get rid of that altogether, right? So now we have, we can go through like this, we can go up and down with our arrow keys. We can move our mouse over. If we move off with our mouse though, it's going to stay on whatever we had selected, right? Okay. Now Z is jump, so we're going to make it so if they push Z while new game selected, then we'll load the level, just as if they were to click, which the click should still function, so if they click here, it still works, right? So I can go in here, click here, I can still get there. We're going to make it also so you can hit Z to start, you can select new game, and you can hit Z again, and that'll load it up, right? We're also going to make this default value to be 1, so it starts off on new game. Okay, and I think we're going to also make this so if it's less than 1, it'll equal 3, and make this default to 1. This way it can never be unselected. So let's just test that out before we go any further. Hi. I turned the gravity on instead of changing the menu state. Okay, so now it's always on. You can't go to state 0 any longer. Whee! Cool? Cool. Okay. Alright, so now if they're in state and they push, oops, new game, if this dot input dot pressed jump now we'll load the game. Boop, boop. Like that. So right. So now if I'm on, from here nothing happens when I hit Z. From here nothing happens when I hit Z. But if I go to new game and I hit Z, also known as jump, then I will go into the game. Now I can hoverboard around like a boss, right? Totally. Cool, huh? Alright.